loudly and clearly. 12 hours rain. Where are you, Kenny? Where in the UK are you? I think you're up north somewhere, aren't you? I can't remember where you are. Oh, you can turn this down. Can you hear me? Oh, Johnny Lawrence, you're back in Canada already. Can you hear me? It's all good. Can you hear me okay? Great, thank you. Hello, John. How you doing? Johnny Lawrence, your highlight, please. Where's your highlight? You said Kamigan. Can you elaborate? Malabalai? I'm going to Malabalai. Yeah, so where else? Where else did you get to? I know you did a lot of traveling. So, good morning. I am here in a condo. There's the outside world. It's a bit bright. That's the outside world. I'm in an Airbnb in CDO. That's my fridge. So good morning to you. You went to Davao, Bukidnon, Cagayan, Cebu, Manila. Okay, so I think you said Cagayan was your highlight. How was Cebu and Manila? Camotes, gosh. Did you drive around? I've only been to one place on Camotes, something Rock, I think. I can't remember the name of the place. It's a very large island, I feel, and you need a motorbike. So just took a trike from the port to this place, which wasn't half an hour away. So you went to the scooter and went around Camotes. Okay, so yeah, that's the best thing to do. I was just with my girlfriend and we just went to a resort on Camotes, which was nice. You went to Bantayan. Okay, brilliant. Did you like Bantayan? Was that your first time in Bantayan? You spent too much money. Yeah, well, traveling around, you do spend a lot of money. That's the problem. Second time. Okay, second time Bantayan. I want to go back to Bantayan. Did you fly or did you take the bus? Because you can apparently now fly from Cebu quite cheaply, but they're sold out. Bus. Okay. No. That was back in the day when I had a girlfriend. This was in Camotes 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Yeah. You tried looking into. Okay. Yes. No, Kenny. Keep up. Where are you, Kenny? You're up north, I think. You're up north somewhere in England. Tell me where you are. Yeah, I want to go back to Bantayan. I love Bantayan. It's a lovely island. It's one of the loveliest islands. Okay. Do I remember David? I do. That was from like when I was there, I think a year ago. I'm sure I do remember his early vids. You met one of the girls, didn't you? That's who you. Okay, there we go. There we go. I knew you were going to say that. Is she one of the ones that had had her personality enhanced? I've seen a recent video. I can't remember where it is. Quite recently. It's a different channel. He's changed the name of his channel. And yeah, the girl has got rock solid mammaries now. Yeah. This is the face behind the voice. Yes. Welcome, Michael. Yes. Welcome to my channel. I am he. I do exist. It's not just someone walking along faceless channel. I'm not AI. I do actually exist. She left the group. Okay. So she left the group early on and didn't get her personalities enhanced, like the others do. Johnny, I'm finding communication. I'm back on the apps. Well, I'm always on the apps. It's just I don't know what it is nowadays, but communication on the apps is just very, very, very slow. It's like you ask a question, and then 2 days later they respond saying, "I'm not active here." Or what's the point of them being on the apps if they're not active there? So yeah, dating on with the via the apps is not great at the moment. Thank you for enjoying my channel. Welcome to your first live stream. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I do actually find in Mindanao that the level of English, bless them, is not as great as in other areas in the Philippines. I mean, I met a bunch of lovely students yesterday in Cagayan on the boulevard. Their English, they're third year students. Their English was not great at all. I mean, they were all just baffled by what I was saying, obviously. Anyway, you didn't really like Davao. Okay, so I am I don't know if you watched my last video. I am finding Mindanao to be very, very noisy and very heavy on traffic. When I was here in June, I didn't feel it as much. I don't know what it is. It's just, I don't know. Coming back to Mindanao, it just feels very, very noisy, which I keep saying in my videos. I think the English is not brilliant in this area. I don't find the English amongst other people will prove me wrong, but I don't find a lot of students have got great English in Mindanao. I think we're spoiled in Cebu and Manila by having Filipinos who speak great English. Kids around the pool talk nothing. I'm on my way to Davao. I'm probably not going to go to your condo. I'm not too sure where I'm going to stay in Davao, but yeah, I'm heading for Davao eventually. Oh, so in answer to the question, where was it? The question was, how long am I going to stay in Mindanao? I'm going to stay probably another month. Where are we now? We're October 19th. I'm staying another 6 weeks. So I'm working my way down. Malabalay, Davao, Gensan. Whether Gensan is off limits now, I don't know. But Gensan, I've never been to Malabalay and I've never been to Gensan, so I'm trying to go to areas which I've not been to. I've obviously been to Cagayan and Davao, but I'm going to other areas that I've not been to. You're not getting these messages. What do you mean, Tom Smith? What messages? I'm reading the messages. I'm not too sure what you mean. It's a good pay. It is. It's for your first trip. I always say for your first trip, depending how long you've got. If you've got say 3 weeks, 4 weeks, Cebu is a good base because you can go from Cebu to Bohol, to Negros, to Siquijor. It's a good area, and you can see a whole. Cebu is just a great island for, as Johnny Lawrence will tell you, Camotes, Bantayan. For your first trip, it's good to not to travel around too much, but just jumping on a ferry and going 2 hours by ferry, or getting on a bus and going 5 hours up to Bantayan. I think Cebu is a good spot to start with. That was my first call when I landed in the Philippines in March 2020. I first landed in Cebu, and it is a good spot. I made and where eagles dare. Was that the opening track? Okay, here we go. Opening track, yes. What was I thinking of the other day? I was thinking, I can't remember what I was thinking of now. An opening track. Somebody said about the Who. What's the Who track? The opening track to Who's Next, which is just a wonderful opening track. And when I think of the Who, I think of Can You Feel the Real Me from Quadrophenia, which is not actually, it's a second track, but it feels like an opening track because the first track is instrumental. Anyway, I digress. You only spent a couple of days in Manila. Oh, you stayed at Oyo. I'm going back there. I'm going back to Oyo. You spoke to Fran, didn't you? Yeah. I'm going back to Oyo in December. My friend Victor has already booked 3 months at that Oyo from December to February. December, January, February, March. Anyway, I'm going back there in December to meet him. Your favourite hotel was kind of noisy. Okay. Oh, okay, so it is very cramped. You have to get a corner room. And he's staying there for 3 months, and I stayed there for 5 months. I'm not going to stay there for 3 months again, because you're right, it is very cramped. Only the corner room is decent. Otherwise, the bed is, yeah, takes up most of the room. So, yeah, you're right. It was noisy. Oh, I didn't really get the noise. I didn't really get the noise. And I love the pool. The pool is just brilliant. I am going to Jensan. I am going to Jensan. You've been to Jensan, haven't you? I'm sure you've been to Jensan. Many hairstyles. Well, most of that, Scott, was like a comb over. So yeah, it was just. I was just hanging on to my hair too long. During my 30s, I had hair down here. I just grew my hair in my 30s, which was a very strange look for a man in his 30s. When everyone else was shaving their head. Anyway, I just grew my hair long, and I've been trying to keep hold of it. Yeah. Enough said. Jensan is safe. Save? What does that mean? Oh, safe. Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. You didn't make it to Boracay. No. Well, you said you spent lots of money as it is. So going to Boracay, yeah, would have just cleaned you out. It's not a budget place. It's not really budget friendly. As much as I travel around Boracay looking for cheaper options, it really isn't a great. Even hotels. I've spent the most I've spent ever in the Philippines is 2,200 in Boracay per night on a hotel with a swimming pool and a gym. Well, it was only 4 days, but anyway, it's a very expensive place. It's not for frugal Brits like what I is. You were living in Thailand, yeah. Okay, so Billy, where were you living in Thailand? And how long were you there for? I've been to Thailand a number of times, and going back more recently, it's, yeah. Not really. I don't really want to go back. I want to go back there for a holiday, obviously, but no plans to stay there. Longer than a few weeks, because I do feel a disconnection there. A lot of people say that they don't speak to anybody anyway. But when you're a single guy traveling alone, I think connection with the locals is very important. So I've got no plans to spend a long period of time there. I love Thailand, and I love the island, and I love it. I do love Thailand, but it's just the disconnection that I feel, which is not apparent in the Philippines. Is it safer in Mindanao than UK? Well, you told me where you were, and I saw it, and I've forgotten. Is it safer in Mindanao? Well, it was safe. I hadn't heard, Johnny Lawrence, I hadn't heard of that kidnapping until Roland put a comment on my previous video to last night saying somebody had been kidnapped on 2 days ago, 2 nights ago now. I hadn't heard of it either, but it's apparently in the news, and it's, yeah, you Google it, and it's, yeah. It is, I feel it's quite safe. Until, yeah. I don't think that area of Mindanao is safe to live. I think it's okay as a tourist travelling through, but I don't think it's a safe place to live in that area of Mindanao, especially what's going on a little further south. I would not advise people to live there. Although I did meet a guy in Dipolog on that coastline, who lived on that coastline further north, a lot further north, and he said just don't travel south to the places beginning with the 3 S's. Don't travel there. And of course that is one of the places where the guy got kidnapped and also one of the S's is a place where somebody got murdered in 2002. So it is safe-ish, but there's places you don't go, is what I would advise. Polomolok. Oh, a store got bombed. Okay. Is that the last thing that's happened though? That's 6 years ago. Actually, there was something happened in Marawi quite recently, wasn't there? There was a bombing in Marawi, in a church in Marawi. So you do hear of these things. Talk, it's my life. Here we go, Kenny. We're going back to the music now. Talk was such a great band. I had a few singles. They had some great singles. I never bought any albums from Talk. Bubba O'Reilly, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. That was such a brilliant opening song. What a brilliant opening song. Was it like 6 minutes? It's just such a brilliant song. Okay. The street noisy in front, I say. So do you sleep late? I mean, I had a room on the front at Oyo, on the corner. It does start livening up about 6 o'clock. It gets quite noisy, and I'm up at 6 anyway. So, yeah, it didn't really affect me because I'm up at that time anyway. And it's life. It's life, Johnny. It's life. It's okay. Go to Leyte. I want to see that island too. Yeah, what's it called? Something begin with K. Yeah, I want to go there too, but it probably won't be till next year. What is your okay? Here we go. What average monthly budget in peso? Peso. Let me think. Got to translate. Probably around what? 50,000? Yeah, when I'm traveling, it's a lot more. I mean, the month I spent in Mindanao, I've said this on one of my videos, the month I spent in Mindanao in June was my most expensive month ever in the last 5 years, because I was having to stay at what I find decent hotels that were 1,600 pesos. So I spent probably 40,000 pesos alone on hotels that month, which is ridiculous. When I was in Cebu, I wasn't spending more than 40,000 pesos a month on everything. So 40,000 a month on accommodation in hotels. Mindanao is expensive. I don't know what your plans are, Billy, if you're planning on living in a condo or whatever, but if you're not traveling around, your average monthly budget is half of traveling around, because yeah, you can cook for yourself, and yeah, it's a lot cheaper staying in a condo and paying a regular rental fee for $300-400 a month. So yeah, you can live on $600 a month. If you're frugal like what I is. Between 600 and 800. You can live comfortably. People say that's not comfortable living, but I only eat twice a day. You are living in Pattaya, Udon Thani, Isan. Isan is where all the how do I put this diplomatically? Isan is the area where a lot of the girls come from. The poor area, isn't it? Morning from Surrey. Okay, where in Surrey are you? How you're coming to December for 27 days. Okay, are you just staying in Davao or are you traveling around? I use a DJI Osmo DJI Pocket 3. I was using a Canon. Well, here we go. Got it right in front of me. Bit of Blue Peter. Prepared this earlier. This is my Canon that I use for most of probably my first 200 videos. I used this Canon, and it's completely battered now. I mean, I had to glue this onto here. I had to glue it to the body so that I could use the tripod mount. Anyway, this is what I use for my first 200 videos, and then I now use the DJI Pocket 3 for most of them. I use a GoPro occasionally, but my GoPro button is broken, and GoPros are rubbish in low light. They're only good for underwater in the swimming pool. And how many of those videos do I shoot? Okay, next. So that's my camera. I hope that's useful. The Korean girl in Alona, she was such a lovely girl. She was such a and I did actually, it was her birthday. And I did actually say I'm going to video call her on her 25th birthday when she was back in... No, she wasn't Korean. She wasn't Korean. She was Taiwanese. She was Taiwanese. I said I would video call her on her 25th birthday, which was coming up, and I did. I video called her. Her English is not great. She's a lovely, lovely girl. She's a lovely, lovely girl. But as you saw in the swimming pool, her personalities are not there. I know it's right, Johnny. And with my health issues, with my cholesterol, I need to cook for myself really. And yeah, healthy food, and it's always in Carinderia's food is always sweet and salty. Or they put so much sugar in their food. It is so sweet and so salty, and they cook in rubbish, don't they? They cook in that horrible cooking oil. So no wonder people are unhealthy in the Philippines. You have to cook for yourself. You have to have a condo, really. What is the best place for Americans? What do you mean? Everywhere. As a Farang, okay, you're treated better. Okay. There are less expats. Keep away from the tourist traps. Well, keep away from Bangkok and Pattaya. More to what story, Kenny? Are you talking about the Taiwanese lady? That's a lot of danger for a little bit. I love tuna. In the UK, a friend and I were writing a film script. And we used to meet up every week to write a film script, and I would either go to his flat or he would come to my flat in London, and we always used to spend an hour or two preparing lunch, and we always had tuna. Well, I always used to cook tuna. So people said, are you actually writing a film script, or are you making a cookery book? I know, Johnny, you're right, Johnny. The dude is like 26. He's a little bit silly. My opinion, I don't want to knock the guy because he's been kidnapped, but he advertised it all over YouTube. He had a YouTube channel. He advertised exactly where he was living in that area, and the fact that he was married to a Muslim girl, and he'd only been there 5 months. And so he showed where he was living. I'm married a Muslim girl. I've got a YouTube channel. Target. A little bit silly in my mind, but I hope he's safe, and I hope he returns home safely. Okay, a lot of different YouTubers won't travel there unless escorted by barangay elders or local people. I was actually wanted to go to Marawi, and people said don't go. I mean, even the lady Faye who died sadly, she said some people were staying here and did go to Marawi, and there was a guy, what's his name, Marshall something. He's recently had a blog on Marawi. I really want to go to Marawi, but I don't know at the moment. But you're right. Yes, if you can go with somebody, it's probably better. It's probably better to go on with somebody than going just Billy no mates. Do the penis care about large? Billy, where have you been hiding? That is what they say. That is their mantra. Age difference doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter, Billy. Okay, Billy. That's the Filipinos mantra. It means the bigger the age gap, the more money you got in the bank for when you cop it, mate. They don't care about a large age gap. But do they really want you for your personality? Billy, you're a bit behind. Go and look at my other 350 videos. I've been to Bohol. Did they? Okay, so the Okay, this is quite interesting. The Chicago Bulls, which Gary Glitter song were they playing? And did they know? Were they aware of Gary Glitter's past? Gary Glitter did have some brilliant songs back in the day. I mean, I think I said on one of my videos about the Human League, who are one of my favourite bands in the 80s, had covered rock and roll by Gary Glitter, which is such a brilliant song. So the Human League covered it. He had some great songs. I mean, you know, apart from his discrepancies, he did make some great music. They won't get much out of me, gosh. On my YouTube wages, anyway, 3 in 1. Have I spoken about my chocolates? If anyone's in the Philippines are aware of these Choco Mucho cookies, well, it's got choco caramel in it, but they taste like Reese's peanut butter chocolates. They are absolutely gorgeous. So if you're in the Philippines and you haven't tried some of these, get hold of some of these and let me know what you think about it. They're just so tasty. And luckily there's still plenty there. I haven't eaten them all. Where are we? They won't get a lot, Larry. Thank you, Sean. A happier man. That's very kind of you. So when I left Cebu and in, where was it, May, and started travelling, my health wasn't great. I don't know. I'd spent 3 months in Cebu, which I loved, but I did actually stagnate a bit there, and I got a lot fatter. And then when I started travelling, my health wasn't great, and so I think for a couple of months, all that was was burdening me. My health wasn't great, and so I do feel a lot happier, thank you, and less disgruntled. Somebody said, my friend Victor said, you're not as moany as you have been in the past. Yeah, I think it's, when things are going on like health and that, you know, you do take on a lot of shite. Anyway, thank you, Sean. I will try and keep it up. I will try and keep positive. Okay, so the PMP, it's just uses the term red zone. It's just that I get comments from Filipinos thinking that I am being derogatory about that area of Mindanao. I'm not being derogatory about that area. I'm just saying how it is. I'm just saying how other people, what the area is referred to. I love this area of Mindanao. I am not trying to bring it down. But Filipinos are very sensitive. If you say, when you're talking about their country, they take everything you say negatively. If you're making a criticism, a polite criticism, they will take everything negatively, like Filipinos do. Everything is an issue. Anyway, let's get started on Filipina negativity. Anyway. Don't pay too much for a condo. Okay, there are loads of empty ones. Go to Davao condos on. Okay, thank you, Kenny. I will try that. Well, I'll probably won't be staying that long, so I might just do Airbnb. I'm paying $150 for this condo in CDO on Airbnb, which is a very good deal, I think. I know you can get a condo for $300 a month, but $150 for a week. It's got a very good pool and it's got a gym, so I think that's not a bad deal on Airbnb. Monthly contracts on Airbnb in CDO are not great, but weekly are okay. Cheaper condos. The condos are like 20,000 pesos per month. Well, that is 300 quid. $400, which is not a bad deal, is it? Well, as Kenny said, go on to Facebook Marketplace. Have a look at Facebook Marketplace. You can probably there's a place. What's the place? Johnny will know. What's the place north of Ayala? Not north of Ayala, north of IT Park. There's a cheaper condo place there near JY Mall. There's a cheaper condo building there, which has got a decent pool and gym. Begins with M. I would Google it, but I won't. Thank you, Larry. The bus ride from yeah, it is. I did that. I did it. I did the bus ride from yeah. I did it from Davao up to Butuan. I did that bus journey, and then I did the journey from I did the journey from CDO down to Davao, and I did it in reverse, but it goes up a different route. Yeah, I did the route from Davao up to Butuan. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to be going from CDO to Malabalai, which yeah is a lovely journey. Ramses, hello mate, how you doing? How's life with you in Dubai? Are you back there? Actually, Larry, yeah, the swelling, yeah, the swelling has stopped. The swelling has. I'm more mobile now. I think that was the problem. I think that was the problem. I wasn't being very mobile, and now I'm being very. Very, very active. Yesterday, I swam at 7 a.m. I did a gym session at 10 a.m. and then I walked 12 kilometers around CDO. So I'm being very active. Hence my slimmer frame and no booze. I have not, 19th of October, so I have not drunk alcohol for 4 months. And as we all know, beer is a bloater. No booze. Maybe that's my upbeat spirit. No booze. I don't need booze. I'm an idiot as I am. I love you too, Ramses. Yes, you're in Dubai. How is it there? How is it? Is it sunny? Hello, Yoda. Nice to see you here. When are you coming back? When are you back in the Philippines? Why is Rike the hero of every story he tells? Because he's telling the story, maybe. I don't know. I used to watch Rike. I need to drink water. I never talk so much. Where are we? We've only been going, what, half an hour? And already my voice is going because I don't talk as much anymore because I'm always on my own. Encourage me to drink more water, please, as the live stream goes on. And if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe to this channel. Larry, have you subscribed? I don't know why Rike's a hero, because he's got his own channel and he likes to talk. Where are you, Bo, now? I'm in CDO. Did I not say that? Rike has unlimited disaster stories. From all the okay, Billy. I moved abroad 2019, so I was 58. December the 4th. It was actually my late father's birthday. I left the UK December the 4th. So this year, 2024, on December the 4th, I'll been away from the UK for 5 years exactly. Almost 5 years I've been away. Isn't that gone so quick? Okay, ladies, Ramses, ladies all over the Philippines are very approachable and open-minded and friendly. That's not just Duma. That's everywhere. They say, "Oh, I'm shy. I'm shy. I'm shy. I'm shy. I'm shy. I'm shy. I'm shy." You're near Dorking. Your first time. Okay, so shortwaves. Why did you choose Davao? I'm very excited for you too, for your first trip. Alan Howitt. It wasn't Alan Howitt. It was Marshall Butters. Marshall Butters or something? Check him out. It's a brilliant video he made about Marawi. Okay, I watched Chris Crooks as well. Some of his videos just went mental, didn't they? 200,000. His channel has just gone past mine. He's only been going 6 months, the whippersnapper, and his channel's gone past mine. Which one? Marawi didn't look like a place you want to visit. Well, I quite like dereliction. I like places that have gone to rack and ruin. YouTuber, that Philippines life is now filming in Mindanao. Is he? That Philippines life? Reese's, exactly. Reese's, I know. I didn't realise they sold Reese's actually in the Philippines. And so all that conversation I had with that guy, he was probably thinking, look, you can get Reese's in 7-Eleven. What are you going on about? Um, and I was, okay, Billy, I've been single for 2.5 years. That might answer your question. Actually, I'm going to make a video about this. But yeah, you need to check my videos. All the young dudes. What a brilliant song. I actually saw him doing that. Shepherd's Bush Empire. I saw him doing All the Young Dudes. I saw Bowie. Was it '97? I saw him twice. I saw him in '84 at Milton Keynes Bowl when he had blonde hair. He looked absolutely brilliant in his moonlight. What's it called? Moonlight Daydream? No, tour. Sky blue suit. Excuse me. And blonde hair. Looked absolutely brilliant. But yes, I saw him in '97 doing All the Young Dudes. What a great song. But apart from that, I bought a Mott the Hoople album, but apart from that, what else did they offer? There was one other song they had that was brilliant, but apart from that, the Hey song, Rock and Roll, hey, yeah, Rock and Roll Part 2, yeah, exactly. Exactly, what a brilliant song. That was a brilliant song by Gary Glitter. His lifestyle, well, if you go back to all those Top of the Pops days, they were all corrupt, weren't they? They were all perverts. They used to encourage them, and the BBC used to turn a blind eye to what was going on with all their presenters kiddie fiddling. You mean Zamboanga, the island, the shape? You're right there, Kenny. Yeah, you're not wrong there. Oh, is Davao cheaper than Cebu to live? We will have to ask Kenny. Kenny, have you lived in Cebu, Kenny? I know you've lived a long time in Davao. How you were paying? What were you paying for your rent in Davao? Okay, you didn't get to see CDO. I don't think you missed very much. I've been here a week and I'm staying another couple of weeks. I'm just going to be doing Condo videos. CDO is... I will let you know. Thank you. They don't... Yes, Rag Jam Rock. Rag Jam Rock. Okay. They don't seem to understand sarcasm. They don't. Somebody on OkCupid yesterday, a girl had said, well, look, nowadays on dating apps, they all say date to marry. They're all 19, 20, 21. They've never had a relationship and they say date to marry. Now, come on, you've got to live a little first before that, surely. So one girl said, I want to get married. And so I texted her and I said, we matched on OkCupid. And I said, I think we should get married. And she took me seriously. They don't understand irony. And she took me seriously. She said, I think we should start chatting first. And I went, yeah, obviously. Do you understand humour or not? Block. Where we go? Going back. But welcome, Ragjam Rock. I hope. Have you subscribed? If you're not subscribed, I'm sending the boys round. Filipinos are touchy about their country. But they'll chuck a baby in a river for a chance to leave it. Yeah, they are very, very touchy. They're very touchy about, yeah, you can't... This is why I haven't got many Filipino followers. I mean, you get these other vloggers in the Philippines flying the Filipino flag, but because I do say things... I say how I feel about life here. I don't have many Filipino vloggers. I don't have many Filipino followers, and that is probably why. You can't say it how it is here without people getting offended. Drink more beer. Nothing wrong with some beer. Okay. So in my last month in Cebu, I was going from a sundowner Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the weekend to let's have a sundowner Monday night. Oh, let's Tuesday night. Let's have a sundowner, and it became a daily thing in my last month in Cebu. And I'd been there 2 months, and a friend of mine's partner saw me leaving when I left Cebu, and she said, "God, you've put on weight." And I'd only been there. I had only seen her 2 months ago. I had literally got a beer gut from my time in Cebu. So I am actually quite happy at the moment staying off alcohol. So Johnny, stop encouraging me. I can have a coffee for a sundowner. I found it better not having a girlfriend. Keep away from the west of Davao. Okay, so but General Santos is west of Davao. Well, southwest. Are you saying keep Kenny T? Someone just said General Santos is safe. I'm not going extreme. I was going to go to South Cotabato, if I'm pronouncing that right. I was wanting to go there. There's a couple of places there that I wanted to go to. Digos? How about Digos? Am I allowed to go there? Oh, John Paul George with a 14-year-old, but nobody mentions him. Okay. So you're going to Davao. You've not met her yet, but you've had a long-term relationship, LDR, with someone for a year. You've not met her face to face, but you've only been speaking to her on video for a year, right? You're new to my channel, I imagine. I was chatting to a lady in Wow for a month. Every day we chatted. Every day we were chatting every day on whatever. We never FaceTime, but we always chatted. We always used to check in with each other for at least half an hour every day, and the conversations were brilliant. And she lived in Wow, and I lived in Cebu at the time, 3 years ago. At the end of COVID. She was coming to Cebu to meet her sister, and so we met up. If you haven't met somebody that you've been chatting to for some time online, it's quite awkward if the chemistry is not there when you meet in the flesh. There was no chemistry. The chemistry on our chat was brilliant. I followed her up the escalator. She wanted me to go first. When I followed her up the escalator, her ankles were like the size of her thighs. They were colossal. Well, I hadn't seen, because I hadn't seen photographs or online. I hadn't seen the lower half of her body. Call me shallow, but I would rather meet someone pretty soon after starting to chat with them. I'm not going to go into a relationship with someone for a year and then meet them and think, oh shit, what have I done? Thank you, Larry. Oh, actually, OkCupid has not been great for me. I mean, I'm gonna join up again, because I joined up 6 months ago and I had 1,000 likes or something, whatever they call it on OkCupid. I had 1,000 people, liked me. Out of the 1,000, 999 were pants. It was just, so I'm going to do a video. I'm going to sign up again to OkCupid of the new 1,000 that have liked me. The standard, anyway. I don't want to be too derogatory. Hello Gary, how we doing, mate? Nice to see you here. I use them all. Okay, Billy. But OkCupid, I've had what? I had one day in Manila. She was a lovely lady. I had one day in Manila from somebody I met on OkCupid, and she actually paid. You know how frugal I am. I turned up at this restaurant, and she had a really good job. And I turned up at this restaurant in Manila, and she had already paid for the lunch, which was brilliant. But But that was my only my only date on OkCupid. The rest, I've had a scammer on OkCupid, but I've never actually, yeah. So I do use it, but not had much success. So okay, so answer to your question, I use Bumble, which is not brilliant, I don't think. You get a lot of dodgy ladies on Bumble. So I'm using Tinder, Badoo, Pina Love. My best successes have been on Pina Love and Badoo. Tinder, not so great. Not so great in the Philippines anyway. Oh yeah, okay, you bought a condo. Okay. £110 your costs for fees, electric and Wi-Fi. Your costs, okay. So you bought. So have you, Kenny? I know you're not going back. Have you sold your condo or what? What is the situation? If you don't want to tell me, if it's too personal, then I know you bought your condo, but I know you're not going back. Have you sold it or are you renting it out? If you're renting it out, can I go and stay there? Yes, Gary, I'm doing great. How are you? I would end up drinking more Filipinas than beer. Exactly. 5 years ago, it was 70. It was less than 70 to a quid. It's 75 pesos. It's brilliant. Yes, you're a target. You've got lots of money, okay, Billy. Of course, you're a target. Okay, they're shy. They say they're shy, but they're not very shy in the bedroom. I would do both. I would do wandering around the streets, and I would also do dating apps. But don't go out on the street going, right, I'm going out on the street today, I need to go and find a lady. Just go about your business and let it happen naturally. Actually, yesterday I was in a restaurant in CDO, near here, Lim Kit K. If anyone knows CDO, I'm staying near Lim Kit K Mall. And in this restaurant there was two beautiful girls. Beautiful. And you don't see that very often, I don't feel, in the Philippines. They were stunning. But it was just so difficult. One was on her own, and I didn't want to just go over and say, hello darling, how you doing? The other was with a couple of other females, and it was just, oh gosh. I couldn't go over. I have not been to Marti yet. I know of that beach near Davao. I want to go to that. That beach. It's supposed to be the best beach in that area. Digos is good. Good Mackey's on the way. How far is Digos from Davao? Oh, here we go again. Your video jumped to the next night. I wonder why. Some things in Palawan stay in. No, where was I? Panglao. Some things in Panglao have to stay in Panglao. Use video instead of chat. No, OkCupid is free. I don't pay for anything. I don't pay for any dating apps. It's not free. You can. Johnny Lawrence, are you paying for Pina Love? Anyway, do you have a hard time keeping on weight? No, you can. If you want to put on weight, I had an easy time in Cebu putting on weight. It's very easy. Just eat 6 meals a day. Eat more rice. Oh, it's all scam profiles. Oh God, yeah. There's so many scammers on them now. So many scammers. On Bumble, I do find they're quite lardy as well. There's a lot of ladyboys and they're quite lardy on Bumble. Bumble and OkCupid are quite educated, but also, yeah. There's a lot of lardiness going on in the Philippines at the moment. You're out of RAM. Okay. I'm not going to send the boys around if you've been subscribing, Ragjam. Well done. Thank you, Johnny Lawrence. Thank you for getting rid of the riffraff. What time is it, Johnny Lawrence, in Canada? Never tell anyone about your finances. Exactly. Well, I haven't got any. Yeah, exactly. You're going for 27 days, so you're going to be there for the whole of January and then get back in February when it snows. Where are you from in the UK? And how old are you? I'd like to know the details. Oh, so you've sold your condo. Did you? How are the condos in Davao, Kenny? The condos in Cebu, the ones I stayed at, the maintenance is not great. They seem to let things go in the Philippines. I don't know how your condo was in Davao, but they seem to, when things get broken in condos, they tend to leave them. I think the money, they've got no money anymore. The best city for dating. Okay, that's a good question actually. A lot of people say go to the provinces, and on dating apps they don't get many. I mean, I've been in Mindanao for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and there's not many girls on the dating apps. I'm already at, you've run out of profiles on Tinder and Bumble and a lot of them you've run out of profiles because there's not many girls. There is more selection in the big cities. That's what I'm trying to say. Where the best city is for dating, I think the best city is every city is the best city for dating. You just got to get out and about. But you will get more opportunities in Cebu and Manila, but also you will find big opportunities in Davao where Kenny is, where there's not many expats. So everywhere. You don't pay for any apps. Okay. I went to Iloilo twice. Gary, keep up. Not Baguio. I've not been to Baguio yet. OkCupid has less limitations. Don't use app. Get out on the streets and find the bars. Yeah. Streets is good. Okay. Oh, really? You had success with Tinder in the Philippines, just not back home. Oh, you're okay. Oh, so it's yeah. I knew that normally around this time when I'm live streaming, Johnny, you go off and make your supper for half an hour, and where have you been? You came back Monday evening. What's for supper tonight? It is very easy to make expat mates. Okay, Billy. A lot of people say I didn't move away from my home to go and mix with expats in overseas, but I think it's quite important. I met some great friends in the Philippines who I now consider my mates. I think you need expat mates because, you know, if you're with your missus who's giving you grief, you need to offload. I think the best thing is to go and meet a buddy in, you know, have a beer or a iced tea and chat. It's just, I think you need people from your own culture, from your own society to mix with as well. Don't leave it all behind. I don't understand why people say leave all that behind and go and start a new life in the Philippines. Don't mix with expats. I think that's complete nonsense. I think you need to have a release and need to chat to, you know, other guys. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's quite easy. It's very easy. How many days need to travel around Bohol? Where are you traveling around Bohol? Are you going from Panglao all the way to Anda? What did I do? The first time I was there, depends how long you've got. I think I did a week in Panglao, and then I did a week in Tagbilaran, and then I did a week in Anda. I'm now travelling at a slower pace. It depends how long you've got, and I mean, Johnny Lawrence just spent 3 weeks travelling around everywhere, and he got knackered. I mean, I can't do quick anymore. But if you're thinking of going to Anda as well as Panglao, it takes like a day to get to Anda, and I don't think Anda offers much more than Panglao does, if you see what I mean. Did that answer your question? Probably not. Um, Gary. Caroline. Hello, Caroline. Making a lot. No, well, I've been working. Been working for the last 40 years. I started working doing a paper round when I'm 12. I've been working for the last 50 years. So I saved up. 54. Okay, you're a good age. Stew. Okay. I love stews. I was having real problems with the electric stove. It just I couldn't get it to heat food on a lower heat. It was just burning. It was only worth operating on a high heat. But I managed to knock out a really good stew the other night. It was just brilliant with loads of vegetables and tuna, obviously, being the tuna capital. Yeah, I love a stew. And it was just so tasty. There's nothing wrong with a stew. You stayed in an Airbnb in Davao, I think, same quality. Which condo did you stay at in Davao? Where was it? I stayed at Magallanes, which was good. I might try a different one this time. Yeah, they're all falling apart. The malls are falling apart. The malls here are falling apart. Lim Kit Kay is a nice area, but unless you're in somewhere like Manila where they take good care of their malls. I mean, the malls in Manila, Greenbelt, BGC, the malls are just, really well kept. But when you go to other cities around the Philippines, like Davao, like where am I? Cagadoro. The malls are unkempt, and then they're falling apart. Lots of traffic in Davao. Okay. I did try the William Bar. It's now the Barra Barra. Is it the same guy who runs the William Bar, which is now the Barra Barra Bar? I met. Have you not watched my video on the William Bar? You have. You've spoken about the girl, Joy. I'm sure you have spoken about Joy, who worked at the William Bar. Anyway, what am I trying to say? Is it now the same owner? Because he gave me some free cocktails, which was brilliant. Also go to MTS, Matina Town Square. Okay. I've not been there. That's a good advice. Thank you for that. MTS. I never heard of that area. Hello, Roy. Good to see you here. You're in Pattaya, aren't you? Yes. Some of you. Okay. Hello, Brian. Am I still looking for a permanent place? I think my permanent place is Manila. I think my plan is. Hang on, I need to drink something. I've got my cold coffee now. I've got my cold 3-in-1. Copico Black. Still tastes good cold. I know. When I said that, Kenny, about knocking one out, I did think someone's going to pick up on that. A permanent place. Okay, back to the permanent place. I think my permanent place is Manila, and I'm going back to Manila in December and staying there at least 3 months whilst my friend Victor is there. And I think I will probably try and look for an apartment there. Maybe not a condo, but an apartment in Manila. So I'm carrying around 25 kilos of shite. A lot of the stuff I'm travelling around with, my old journals, stuff that I don't need to be travelling around with. My bag is very heavy for an old git. So 25 kilos of stuff I'm travelling around with is not very enjoyable. So my plan is to find an apartment, a cheaper apartment somewhere in Manila, and where I can leave stuff. There we go. That's news off the press, hot off the press news for you. You were near Abriza. Okay, I think I went to Abriza. Okay, what was the name of the condo? Try Seawind. 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 Okay, let me just make a note of that. Seawind, so that I can. Frozen pie. Okay, okay. Do you put extra gravy on your frozen cottage pie, Roy? I need to know all the details. Oh, it's not Simon anymore. Oh, new ownership. Roy seems to love Pattaya. Okay, Billy. He's been there 20 years. There's an Aussie place here. Sells. Okay, okay. There might be the one I had breakfast in. Did you watch the video when I was there in January? I sat outside an Aussie. I sat at an Aussie place. I'm sure it was an Aussie place, where I sat on the counter overlooking the street. I'm sure that was an Aussie place. They were late. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Sorry, where am I? Oh, good question. Frankly, Brian, if you had unlimited finances, where would you live in the world? Now, there's a question. There is a question. I don't think I would stay in one place. I think I would have places dotted around. I would get bored staying in the same place, like Roy for 20 years. I need to travel around a couple of times a year. So I think I would have an apartment, say in the Philippines, say in Malaysia. That's two places, both of which people speak English. Yeah, a few different places around Asia. Maybe I need to have one back home as well, so that when I go back home, I've got somewhere to live back in the UK. Because when I go back home, if I ever go back home for a summer, I've got nowhere to live. $1,000 a month in BGC. Okay, that is too much for me. I ain't gonna be spending that. Martina Enclaves also. Yes, I heard there was a girl I was chatting to online, and she. We were getting on great. This was Christmas 2 years ago. I was staying in Magallanes residences, and she was staying near Martina Enclaves, and she said, "Come and meet me." And I couldn't be bothered. Anyway, I will go there this time. Okay, you walked around BGC a bit. Didn't have much time to explore Manila. Is Manila a place you would like to see more of, Johnny Lawrence? I know you've done Cebu. Would you like to see more of Manila? I love Manila. That's very kind of you, Kenny. Can you message me on Facebook or Telegram or something? Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Hello, Louis. Am I pronouncing that right? Thank you for your kind comment. Okay, okay. Yeah, me too. I've travelled to 50 as well. Name your 50. No, I'm joking. Okay, Pattaya is your base. Where else how many other countries do you go to during a year? I know Pattaya is your base, but how many other countries do you travel to during a calendar year? Toronto. Have I told you my Toronto story? I think I've already told you this. Where I was traveling on a train. I'll tell you again. I was traveling on a train from America, from the States up to Toronto, and my train up to Toronto got hit by a truck. So the train got delayed, and I was going to stay with my sister's friends in Toronto. I was 20 years old. I was traveling all around the States, and I was traveling up to Canada. 20 years old, I was traveling everywhere on my own. The train got hit by a truck, so it got taken out of service and we had to wait for another train. And I think we got a bus eventually up to Toronto. So I didn't want to go and disturb the people my friend, my sister had put me up with, because it was like 4 or 5. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't want to go knock on their door at 4 o'clock in the morning. So a girl from the train said, "Come and stay at my place." Well, not with her. With she was living in somewhere, and it turned out she was living in like some sort of hostel for down and outs, and I just got left on a floor somewhere. And when I eventually went to stay with my sister's friends in Toronto, they said they were going away for the weekend, and they said, "Don't invite anyone from that hostel to our home." Anyway, that's my Toronto story. I love Toronto. It's a great city, but I haven't been back for 40 years. You didn't like the trains in Manila. They are congested, but it is a good way of getting around. It's a good way of getting around when you're over the other side of the river. It's a good way of getting about. And you remember this story. Sorry, John. I hate repeating myself. Anyway, I do watch other vloggers. I was brought up on I was introduced to the Philippines by Gio and by Rike, so I'm very aware of their channels, and I do watch other channels, and I'm very aware of Regular Guy. I love his stuff. I would love to meet Regular Guy, but he thinks I'm boring. There we go. Coming from Western Canada, what are your ideas for a city not full of expats? Okay, so most of the cities in Mindanao are not full of expats. I think Kenny will tell you this. Davao is not many expats. I think if you go to any city in the Mindanao, it's not going to be as full of expats as what Cebu or Manila is. So I think you can go to any city in Mindanao and it's not going to be full of expats. They still have trams. Oh, I love a tram. You live closer to Niagara Falls. Yeah, because you went on your birthday. How was your birthday? You haven't told me about your birthday celebration at Niagara Falls. It looks like I'm up to date with the comments. I can't believe it. If you've not subscribed, please. I've not been to Montreal. If you've not subscribed, please could you subscribe? I need to get up to 24,000. Where are we? I need to get up to 24,000 today. Come on. Let's get up to 24,000 subscribers. Uneventful. Sorry, am I being uneventful? Which one? A Brit in the Philippines. I don't know which one that is. Chris Wren, what happened to him? What happened to... what do you mean? I don't know about Chris Wren. What happened to him? Okay, so when are you back again, Johnny? When are you returning? When is your next trip? When is your next vacation? Do you have to save up a bunch of leave to come away again? Where are we? 23,996. Come on, let's get up to 24,000 today. I need to get up to 24,000. I remember on my birthday in April, I said I'm going to stay live streaming until I've hit 20,000. And I'd hit 20,000, but I didn't know. Nobody was telling me. Kenny T, Johnny Lawrence, you weren't telling me. You were saying, "Oh, you're way off. You're way off. You're 10 short. You're 20 short." So I just kept going for another 2 hours until somebody said, "Oh, you passed 20,000 hours ago." Anyway, let's get up to 24. Which part of the UK did you grow up? Vito. Hello, Vito. I was brung up in Essex, in case you couldn't tell. My given name is Dickie. I come from Billericay and I'm doing very well. Had a love affair with Nina in the back of my Cortina. Born in Ilford, brought up in Romford, moved to London probably in my early 30s, stayed there for 20 years, then moved to Brighton. Ian Jury, there we go. My dad worked in Billericay. My dad hated my music. Naturally, punk, new wave, he hated that. But he loved Ian Dury because Ian Dury had a song about Billericay where my dad worked. So my dad liked Ian Dury. And of course, Ian Dury's lyrics were brilliant. I think devout is better for dating. And I think Kenny T, thank you for the, yeah, I think Kenny T will say, as he has said, devout is good on dating. Can we have a bit more likes, please? Brit in the Philippines. I don't think I know that guy. Thank you, frankly, Brian. Exactly. Brighton is a lovely, lovely spot by the sea. Oh, you saw? Oh my God, you saw him in Gants Hill Cinema in the 70s. You're a little bit older than me. I think Gants Hill didn't stop becoming a music venue. I'm sure. Have I told you my story about working at Nan's Pantry in Newbury Park? I used to work at Nan's Pantry restaurant in Newbury Park. Romford had a Odeon as well, and David Bowie played at Romford Odeon. Passed me by because I was not into going to music gigs in 1972. That was too early for me. You used to go to, yeah, it got demolished years ago. Yeah, like Romford Odeon probably. The big mall in Davao wasn't that big to me. The big mall in Davao. There's a number of malls in Davao. Yeah, there's a number of malls. Probably about 5 malls. I don't think malls are as good in other cities as they are in Manila. I think Manila has got... who are Brighton playing this weekend? You're a northern lad, aren't you? It's now Saturday for me, so I will watch Football Focus at 7 PM tonight. And yeah, Newcastle, okay. I've been to Newcastle. I saw Newcastle play Brighton. I went out to Newcastle and saw Newcastle play Brighton. Went for the weekend in No, it wasn't. Sorry. Stayed in Newcastle. I went to Middlesbrough and saw Middlesbrough play Brighton in the last game of the season, in which Middlesbrough went up and Brighton didn't go up that year. We went up for that play. It wasn't a playoff. It was actually a Premiership decider. Newcastle, yes. Your team, yeah, great, yeah. Eddie Howe, is he going to stay? Is he going to stay, or is Eddie going to go now? Any more questions? I need to drink because, yeah. Can you hear this construction going on out here? They're building a new building in this condo. It's blocked out the sunlight from this condo, and they're building another new building. They probably can't fill the 2 that they've got, but they're building more condos. So any more questions? Newcastle, yes. Oh. Okay. Oh, is it? Okay, so that's ongoing. That's ongoing. So the SM City Mall. So I know, Kenny, you're back in the UK, but would you consider holidaying again in the Philippines, or is the Philippines out of your system? Hello, Vincent. How are we? How's Australia? Which coast are you? Why are you in CD? I don't know. Johnny says, why are you in CD so long? Because I am missing condo life. I need to. I just wanted to settle somewhere. I'm getting tired of travelling, as you know, for 3 weeks travelling around. Travelling is tiring. So the idea was to come to CDO and just to just to have a relax. So that's why I'm in studio so long, because I just want to chill for a bit. I don't want to, stay in different hotels every night. I want to, I love living in a condo. I love having a pool, and I love having a gym and having normality. That's what happened to Regular Guy. He got burnt out with travelling around so much. He did used to travel around too much, like every night, moving on. I'm not like that. I'd stay 3 or 4 nights and then travel on. But even then, it's still tiring. So yeah, I'm wanting a bit of normality, and yeah, condo life. So CDO fitted that perfectly, really. Staying in a condo and coming to Mindanao, which I love. Oh, best cinemas in the world. I went to, where did I go? I was in Kuala Lumpur. They're very loud though. Sorry, I'm sounding like a grumpy old man. Why are cinemas so loud? I wear earplugs in cinemas now because they want to surround. They want the surround sound, which kills your lug holes. Bangkok has got some great cinemas. The Asian countries. I haven't been to a cinema in the Philippines. There's one near here in Lim Kit Kay. They've got the new. Has anyone watched the new Joker? Funny story. On Bumble, the lady is meant to make the first approach, doesn't she? The lady is meant to instigate the conversation. Although they've stopped that now, and they've said the man can instigate the conversation if they agree to it. So certain ladies agree to the man instigating the conversation. So one lady has said, which film character do you resonate with you? And so I put the Joker, and she unmatched me. Brilliant. So has anybody seen the Joker 2? I heard it's rubbish, but I still love the Joker. The first Joker film. I saw it twice in the cinema. The first time it was just brilliant. I saw it in, where did I see it? We were going to see Brighton playing. That might have been Newcastle. Yes, it was Manchester. Went to see the Joker, the first Joker, in Manchester. Brighton were playing Manchester United. So the Saturday night, it was on the Sunday. So on the Saturday night, me and my mate went to the cinema and saw the Joker, and it was absolutely brilliant. So has anybody... I'll eventually get to the question. Has anybody seen the Joker 2? It's meant to be rubbish, but I want to see it. You're slipping down. Oh! Suddenly there's a close-up of me. Oh! That was the first gig you went to. Ian Jury at Gansu Only. What a brilliant, brilliant first gig. Gosh, that's amazing. My first punk gig was Generation X at the Marquee, 1978, I think. They were doing 4 nights at the residency at the Marquee every Wednesday or something. It's on YouTube. I was there. I was 16, and it was just, oh my God, going to see Generation X with Billy Idol at the Marquee. It just changed my life. I actually remember pogoing myself into a sweaty mess, and I had to go and sit outside in the corridor, and it was just a brilliant, brilliant start to going to gigs in the 70s. I saw loads of brilliant bands in the 70s. Buzzcocks, The Clash, Eddie and the Hot Rods were such a brilliant live band. Blondie, yeah, I saw some great bands in the 70s. You got me started on music again there. What's a good network provider? Okay. I'm using Smart. Smart offers an unlimited, 60 gigs of data, but there's no dates which you there's no time period. You have to use up that 60 gigs. So I've had Smart data for the last 3 months. And I haven't used up 60 gigs yet. Get Smart. I always used Globe, but Globe, you have to have a time period where it runs out. With Smart, there's no time period, so you can get 60 gigs that will last you an infinite amount of time. Anyway, dating in Indonesia. I met an Indonesian girl in, where was I? In Macau. I met an Indonesian girl in Macau. Great story. Met an Indonesian girl in Macau on the street. Yeah, and that was it. Knew her for about 2 hours. Anyway, but not dated in Indonesia. Yes, I would love to go to Indonesia and date an Indonesian. I think they're quite open to dating foreigners, aren't they, in Indonesia? Okay, how much? So, Johnny, you were away for 3 weeks, weren't you? 3 or 4 weeks? If you want to reveal how much, please reveal. My Mindanao month in June was $1,200 at least. It was very, very expensive month, if not more. It was a very expensive month. Traveling around is very expensive, as I keep saying. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I don't want to repeat my traveling up to Toronto on the train truck crash story. My Tagalog is rubbish. Highbury, North London. Okay, the Beatles played the Astoria. Oh my God, 10 years old. Brilliant. Oh my God. I love listening to old or reading old music stories. I went to Highbury, early 70s. One of my friends at school was an Arsenal supporter. So I used to go to different grounds in those days, when you're 10, 11, 12. We used to travel around. We used to go to Orient, we used to go to Highbury. Then I started going to Chelsea when I was 12. 1970, 71. I used to go to Chelsea on my own across London, which I don't know whether that happened anymore. I bought one backpack with me. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to travel much. Yeah, Kenny says get a scooter. Oh gosh, I'm so handsome. All the chicks are chasing me. I've got to go somewhere else. So you won't come back to the Philippines. Where else are you going to go? Where else have you been to in Asia? Or are you not just thinking Asia, Kenny T? I don't even know who Mauricio De Leon is. Thank you, Vincent. You're from Sydney. I've not been to Australia. I've got as far as Singapore, and I've never got to Australia yet. I will get there one day. Davao is not boring. Okay. Okay. I was thinking of maybe missing out, Davao, and just going straight to Jensan. But okay, I will take your advice, Kenny T. Set me up with your missus. Sorry, not your missus. You're the lady who's going to sort me out for some accommodation. Yeah, I haven't got my... It might be an excuse, but I haven't got my driving licence with me. Can you get around by foot? I walk everywhere. In all the cities. I walk everywhere. I did 12 kilometres yesterday walking around CDO. And yeah, jeepneys are great. Actually, jeepneys are great for meeting people if they will talk to you. Sometimes jeepneys are like London trains, where you get on a subway in the morning in London and it's completely silent because no one's speaking to each other. Sometimes jeepneys are like that. But if you get on a jeepney in Manila at midnight, then everyone's going to talk to you because they've all been drinking. Yeah, it's a great way of meeting people on jeepneys. Beetlejuice 2. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what am I talking about? The Joker. Good question, Roy. We've done well. with non-English managers over the last few years. I mean, Ericsson was brilliant. Who else was there? The other guy, the Spanish guy. Was he Spanish? I think it's a good thing. He's a great manager. I support Chelsea, so he was a great manager at Chelsea. I don't know why Chelsea got rid of him. They won the Champions League with him. He's a brilliant manager. I think it was to do with the fact that his signings. Nobody liked this fact that he didn't like who the club was signing. So he doesn't have to do that with England. So I think it's a great idea having him as a. When it first started, when we first had Ericsson, I wasn't too keen on England having a non-English manager at the time, but I think, why not? I would have preferred Pep, but what's Pep going to do now? Where's he going to go? Dead Kennedys. I never got into Dead Kennedys. I think they were. When did they start? I think I was over Punk by then. He's proud to be English manager. Yes. I'm glad to see you're still here, John. I'm glad to see you nipped off anywhere. Ex-Chelsea, exactly. He's a great manager. The vibrators. I had a couple of vibrator singles. Baby, baby, baby. What else was there? I had 2 vibrator singles. There's another one I had. I got rid of them on eBay. 7 Kings, gosh. They must have. How were they? How were the vibrators? What that? Yes, Frank Lee Bryan. I saw that. It's a brilliant. I saw it twice. I watched it twice. It is a brilliant documentary. I loved it. It's all the visuals, the way it's been put together. It's a brilliant. It's a brilliant. It is a brilliant documentary. I will watch it again now that you've reminded me. You saw the Damned in '76. The Roundhouse was a. Oh God! Now we're talking. I saw Blondie there, and I saw Eddie and the Hot Rods there. The Roundhouse was a brilliant venue. I went there recently and I saw some gay singer. It wasn't the same. They renovated it. It didn't feel the same to me as the Roundhouse back in the day. The Roundhouse was a brilliant venue. Yeah. And I imagine the Damned in '76 being. I had Neat 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 on single, which I swapped. I'd swapped Neat Neat Neat. I had Mike Oldfield box set that was probably worth a lot of money now. And I remember I've swapped the single Neat 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 for a Mike Oldfield box set. Crazy. Anyway, New Rose. What a brilliant song New Rose is. I would love to put New Rose in one of my videos. What a brilliant song. Now we're talking music. You've got TNT. Yeah, exactly. Smart is so cheap. God, that's $5 for 24 gigs of data. It is brilliant. Okay. Indonesia is the way to go. I actually, when I came to the Philippines in March 2020, I actually had a flight booked to Jakarta in June that year. To go to Jakarta, leaving the Philippines to go to Jakarta. But of course I never got there because of COVID. And then they were very late at letting people in who weren't vaccinated in Indonesia. So I hadn't been back, and I haven't been back. But yeah, it's on my list. Gosh. That's a lot of money, Johnny Lawrence. But it's only once a year. It's a lot of money. That's 6 months for me. Anyway. There are lots of beautiful women in Mindanao. I've told this before, but whenever I met girls in Manila and I said, "Where are you from?" 4 of them said Zamboanga. The ladies in Mindanao are very agreeable to my taste in ladies. Yes, I think you... Okay, Billy, get to Jakarta. Hector, yeah, I heard about it. That's probably one of the reasons why I'm doing this live chat today. Because I did hear about the kidnapping of this guy, unfortunately. You're going to Benidorm. One of my first holidays in the 70s was Benidorm. Okay, Roy loved... Okay, Australia. Byron Bay. You didn't like CDO too much. I actually like CDO. But, yeah, it's got its limitations. Oh yeah, Mark. I mean, I'm only 6 foot. But having to when you get into a jeepney and the only seat is right up the front, and you're walking like an old man to get to the front of the jeepney, and you're banging your head on the ceiling of the jeepney as you're going trying to get past everyone. It's not a good look. Yes, jeepneys are not for the larger lads. Okay, the city. I didn't realise. Okay, so Kenny, I think I told you I was staying at Magallanes residences. I didn't realise that part of the city was the red light area. I didn't realise that. Why did I not know that? The Stranglers, did I see? I never saw the Stranglers live. One of the first albums I bought, punk album I bought, was Ratus Novicicus 4. Strange title to an album. I had loads of Strangler singles, and that was probably one of the first punk albums that came out. So it was a brilliant album. Dagnum Dave, there we go. That was on the second album. That was on Heroes, No More Heroes. But anyway, what was Walking on the Beaches, Looking at the Peaches, do 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 do. Which one are you talking about? Kenny T, I've lost track who you're talking about. Oh yes. Actually, Brian, I need to pick you up on that. The Eddie on the Hot Rod single, Do Anything You Do, was released as The Rods. Stupidly, they dropped Eddie and the Hot, and they became The Rods for that single. Eddie and the Hot Rods were a brilliant live band. One of my all-time favourites live band. I saw them at the Chelmsford Punk Festival in 1976. They were brilliant band live. So much energy. I saw them probably about 5 or 6 times. They had so much energy. And their albums were brilliant. They were a brilliant band. 10 people at the Vibrators gig. I saw Spiz Energy in the early 90s in a club in London. It was so funny. Spiz Energy. There was 20 people in the audience, and they were selling Spiz Energy T-shirts behind the bar, and it was so funny. And they chalked up only 20 left, and then by the end of the night, only 19 left Spiz Energy T-shirts. There was nobody there at this gig, and this was of course 90. It was probably 93, 94, 93, when of course Spiz Energy, he was dying a death by then. He'd been going 10 years. Yeah, but I do love those old venues where bands used to play where there was a really small audience, like in the Marquee, like the Roundhouse, like where else was there? The one in Aldwych. What's the name of that venue in Aldwych? Not the Roundhouse. It had a brilliant upstairs on the corner. What's the name of that venue on Aldwych? It's a lovely venue with tiers. I don't know if it's still there. I used to see loads of gigs there in the 70s, early 80s. Someone will know. Talk and text. Not sure what was that was referring to. Anyway, how else you keep mentally engaged? I reading. I don't do as much reading as what I like to. I've just picked up in a book sale where they have secondhand books. 4 albums, not the first ones. How is my streaming? Is my streaming okay? It looks like the streaming is looking a bit dodgy. Is my streaming okay still? I'm talking about Elton John. Acting fantastic. Goodbye, Eric Go. Don't shoot me. He made some brilliant albums. Anyway, reading, yes, I do like reading. I don't do as much. So you might have to save up for the next. When's your next holiday, Jones? The girls in Davao are quite petite. Are they darker skinned? Are they darker tanned, Morena? John Peel was brilliant. Oh my gosh! Now you're talking, Roy. I've got that on 12-inch. I've got that single on 12-inch. That is such a brilliant. When it starts, I think I'm on another world with you. What a brilliant song. Brilliant song. One of my favourite singles. Such a brilliant song. You saw Mungo Jerry. Okay, so Kenny, how did your nose break? Were you punched at Mungo Jerry? The Lyceum. That's the one. What a brilliant venue. The Lyceum. I saw loads of bands there. Late 70s. It was a classic. I must have seen, 20 bands at the Lyceum in that era. It was such a brilliant venue. They had about 3 or 4 bands on a bill. I saw the Specials, Madness, and Selector all at the Lyceum in one night. I also saw the Stiffs live at the Lyceum with Elvis Costello, Nick Lowe, Reckless Eric. What a brilliant night! And I've got that album, live album, on vinyl. I'm getting excited talking about vinyl and talking about our bands. Cheers, Roy. You got some. You saw some great bands as well. A lot of Morena. Okay, I need to drink. Sorry, my throat's going. So is the live stream still coming on live? Still clear because it looks a bit pixelated on my computer, but let me know.